Okay, so we will see the next lab, and the next lab is basically about the data proc, and this is also a very fundamental lab, a very quick start lab. And in this lab, we will use the console, that is basically the UI part. We will not issue any commands, we will just open the Google Cloud and explore the data proc, like how to create the cluster, how to submit the job, that's it. And a few more things. So basically, so a data proc is basically like one of the service, right? And in the Google Cloud, 1 minute, yeah, and which is useful for running the Spark and the Hadoop jobs. Okay, so as part of this lab, what we will do is, so here, as part of the data proc, first we will create a cluster. So cluster is basically because on the data proc, we submit the Spark and the Hadoop jobs, and the jobs run on the basically cluster. So first we need to create a cluster is nothing but a group of virtual machines. So rather than creating an individual virtual machine and interconnect them, we will just create a cluster, and automatically at the back end, n number of virtual machine will be created for us. After that, we will run a Spark job, and as part of this lab, they have given us some jar files. So if they have given us some jar files, it means the job is written into the Java, and we will run using the two worker nodes. After that, we will see how to edit the existing cluster. So first we create a cluster with the two worker nodes and one master node, and then we will see can we create a existing cluster and modify the nodes to the 4, and then run the same Spark job. Okay, so let's start a lab. So this is a very fundamental lab, and as part of this lab, we are just exploring the console. So we are not exploring the CLI. So first, if we have to use the cloud data proc, first we enable the cloud data proc service if it is not already available. So we go to the navigation menu, and under the navigation menu, the APIs and the service, and we go to the library, and here we will search data proc and press enter. Data proc, right? We could see cloud data proc API, and it is already enabled. If it is not enabled, then we could see here enable option, and we can enable it. Okay, so it's already enabled. So let's open the cloud data proc, and it is under the big data category. So under the big data category, we have the data proc. Just click on it. So we don't have anything right now, so it's totally blank. We don't have any cluster. So if we don't have any cluster, then we don't have any jobs. So first we create a cluster. So let me show you one more thing. So let me open the virtual machine. Under the compute, we have the compute engine, which is basically a virtual machine. So I have opened the one more tab. So right now we don't have any virtual machine, right? So when I create a cluster, so automatically at the back end it will create a virtual machine. So as part of this lab we need to create a cluster. In the cluster we have to give the name example cluster. So in the cluster name we will give the example cluster, and so basically it's a virtual machine. So the virtual machine we need to like run in which region, in the US center 1, US center 1, yeah, that's it. And any other values, no. So rest other value like we can keep it same. Otherwise if we want to change we can like change this, like the virtual machine contains which CPU of which series. It should be 4 CPU, 415 GB RAM, right, and so many other things. But right now like 1 minute, yeah, so fine. So let me create a cluster. So I created I click on the create button, and it start creating the cluster. If I go to the VM instances and refresh my screen, so you could see automatically at the back end the VM starts spinning up, right. So one is the example cluster -m, example cluster -w0, example cluster -w1. So basically this is the master and the two workers. So the concept of the one master and the two worker nodes, it's as part of the default cluster. So it will take a few minutes to make it fully up. So see, we have the two worker nodes, and rather than going to do the virtual machine instances, we can see the VM name by clicking on the example cluster. So I click on the example cluster, we could see like there is a one tab there, VM instances. So if I click on the VM instances, so here I could see like we have the 3 VM. One is the master VM and the two are the worker VM. So they are getting it's still in the provisioning state, so it will take some few minutes to make it fully up and running. Yeah, these are up. So let me check if the cluster is created. Yeah, cluster is created. So now once the cluster is created, the next step is just to submit a job. So in the Dataproc option as well, if I go to the navigation menu, we have the cluster part is done. Next part is the jobs. So if I click on the jobs, so right now we don't have any job, so we can like submit a job. We can like submit a job, and we can submit any kind of job. Like we have the various job type. We can submit the Hadoop job, we can submit the Spark job, we can submit the Spark which is written in the R, we can submit the PySpark, so basically written in the Python. We can submit the Hive job, we can submit the Spark SQL, we can submit the Pig job. But as part of this lab, we have to submit the Spark. On which cluster we have to submit? So we have to submit on the example cluster, right. And as I already told you, we are submitting the Java job. So if I select PySpark, so automatically it will ask for the Python file, right. But now I am selecting the Spark, so it will ask for the a jar. So I'm I never I don't know what is basically a Spark. Maybe it is a kind of programming language, but why it is asking the class or jar file? Maybe only using the Java we can write a Spark code. So we have to give the jar file, main class jar file. Okay, now again the jar file. Let me read it. The fully qualified name of a class in a provided standard jar file, for example com.example.world count. Okay, jar files are going to the class path. It can be of GS. What is main class or jar files? Okay, in the arguments we have to give 1000, right? Yeah, that's it, and we have to submit a job. So the job has been submitted and it started running. We can see the workflow, I think. No, not in the workflow, in the jobs only. So it is in the running state. If I click on this line wrap, let me click on the line wrap. Now the line wrap is on. So this job is basically like calculating the value of pi. So we know the pi value is 3.14, right? So this job is basically calculating the value of pi. If you want to see the code is also given, like let me show you code as well. So it is a Java Spark code, Java Spark Pi, not Java, and I don't know Java, so if someone know, like that person can easily understand. So the code is basically using the Monte Carlo method. So they are using the Monte Carlo method to calculate the value of the pi. So Monte Carlo method basically, yeah, like uh, using the concept of the random samples. So they are using the concept of the random samples and then calculating the value of the pi. So yeah, so this is the code, and yeah, job is submitted and the job is also succeeded as well, and elapsed time is 29 seconds, and we could see like the pi is roughly 3.14. Now we can go back to the clusters again. Earlier we are using only 2 worker node, so click on the cluster. So under the cluster we have one more option, that is the configuration option. So under the monitoring, like we could see like see CPU utilization at 1040, because at 1040 I have submitted the job. So under the VM instances we can see the VMs, right? So under the configuration we can see the settings, and right now we could see the 2 worker nodes, but if we want to increase to 4, we can increase that by just clicking on the edit button and make the worker node from 2 to 4 and make it save. So automatically, like it start updating the cluster, existing cluster. If I go to the VM instances and refresh the screen, you could see like 2 more VM start spinning up. See, 2 more VM automatically start spinning up because I updated the cluster. And here as well, under the VM instances, see the 2 more VMs. So let's wait for a few seconds to make it fully up. Still updating, let me refresh it. So the next part is we have to submit the job. Either we can go back to the jobs, and so okay, let's go to the jobs, submit a job. Again, like we will select the cluster, and we have to select that, and the job type is the Spark job type, and again we will give the same values. So submit a job. 1 minute. Yeah, we have to submit a job. So we will give the main class, and we will give the jar files. This is the location of the jar file, and in the arguments we have to pass 1000, right? So and then submit. Line wrap on, and let's see how many seconds it will run. Yeah, so pi is roughly last time it took 29 second, I think it this time took 24 second, and pi is roughly 3.14. The value is getting calculated. Yeah, and there are some questions. So basic MCQ question, like what type of Dataproc job is submitted as part of this lab. So as part of this lab we submit the Spark job, right? And Dataproc help uses process, transform and understand vast quantity of data. That is true. So basically Dataproc and Dataflow, like when we use the Dataflow, so when we have some jobs, and basically those jobs in which like we are reading some data, we are transforming some that data, we are like processing those data, and then we are storing those data. In those cases, like we use the Dataproc and the Dataflow. So that is also true. Yeah, so that's the end of the lab. So as part of this lab, so this is very basic a quick start lab about the Dataproc. And to see the console, we have to we use the console means that is the UI area, right? So as part of this slide, like we see like how to create a cluster, right? How to modify the cluster. We can go to the configuration panel, from 2 cluster to 2 worker node to we can change it to 4 or 5 or 6, any number of worker nodes we want. And we also see if we create a cluster, automatically at the back end the virtual machine gets spinned up, right? And we also see how to run a Spark job. So as part of our purpose is not to write a code as part of this lab. So if there is any other lab where we have to look at the code, I will definitely look. But if someone has to want to look at this code, they can look at the particular. I will put the link into the description. This is the GitHub repo. This is the Spark official GitHub repo, and under Spark official we like actually submit this job only, Java Spark Pi, so which calculate the value of the pi. So it is a Java job, but they have created the jar file. Maybe after compiling it, a jar file will be created, and by using the jar file they are running it. So yeah, that is the end of the lab.